Hello, everyone, and welcome to irregular Friday live stream from Grazer, Westminster. It's Konstantin here. Great to see you all. We haven't been here for a while. Been on holiday and I'm just back and hope you can hear me okay. So, first things first, tell me how's the video, how's the audio. If you notice, I'm streaming from home. Unfortunately, I'm a little bit under the weather. So, you go on holiday, you come back, everything's fine. When you come back, you get sick. So if you hear occasional sneeze, so that's me. That's on me, So stay in sound, no sound. Okay, John, can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? Everything sounds and looks good. Fantastic. Thank you, Joe. Thank you very much. You come back, you get sick. So I'm staying home at the moment. Want to make sure that just in case if I have flu or something, then no one catches it from me. So that's all it is. But hopefully connection is okay. So hopefully we're not going to buffer this time because we're a little bit outside of London. So hopefully, supposed to be a gigabit connection, but all on Wi-Fi anyway. So, hopefully it's going to be fine. So hello, John. Hello, Rick. Hi, David. Thank you so much for seeing me in San Francisco. Thank you everyone who saw me in United States, who had time to see me, and thank you everyone who reached out to me as well to meet. Unfortunately, I just was very limited on time because I was traveling with my wife, and we were on the schedule. So hopefully I'll see you next time or something. But thank you so much for reaching out. I'm thinking actually maybe next time I ever in the United States, it would be cool to arrange some sort of meetup. I don't know how many people are watching us, but some sort of a pint in a pub or something like this. That would be quite interesting. Speaking of pints in a pub, $9 for a pint of beer in California. So here we are. It's actually £7-8 in London. So prices are more or less the same. But it's been a bit shocking. If you have any questions, definitely please put QQQ in the front of the question. Anything photography related, if you want to hear about my trip to the United States as well, I'm happy to answer that as well. But let's talk about everything today. We've been out for 3 weeks. So I want to catch up with you, see what it's all about. And obviously talk about the latest releases. If you have any questions on this, if you want to hear my opinion on this, we've just published the Nikon report yesterday as well. Where me and Becky talk about the new releases, about the Tamron and Nikon releases, about the film. We're basically trying to catch up with everything, but there was so many news. So technically, if you would cover every single news, it probably would be a 2-3 hour long podcast. And who wants to listen to that? Coffee Fund is open. I'm going to have a coffee. It's my first coffee in the last couple of days. So need to be strong and have some energy. So definitely coffee and boost is helpful. Last time I had a live stream, I don't think I thanked everyone for the super thanks. So I'm just gonna mention now. Thank you, Gene. Thank you, Adrian Cochrane, Greg Lowen, Randall Brundle, Tim Herring, and Vince Vinny. Thanks so much for last week. And apologies if I didn't mention it last time. So let's have a look who is in the chat here. Hello, David. So I hope you had a good time in Japan. Hello, Pete. Hello, Joe, Rick, Colin, Adrian, Thaddeus, William, Nick Reason. Wow, it's quite a turnout actually today. I thought we are going to have like 5 people watching us today. As simple as, we haven't been out for 3 weeks and, how it is with the internet. People just forget that you exist. So, it's always good to see you guys here, that you actually turned up. Hello, David, drunk wedding photographer. It was great to see you. You should do a proper foodie tours around dodgy parts of LA. Those tacos were fantastic, as well as mezcal. So I definitely remember that. That was quite fun. That bottle of mezcal is on my shelf now with those beautiful glasses. So thank you very much for this. Nigel was asking, is it Chamonix 4x4 camera on the shelf behind me? Yes, it is actually. Yes, it's one of those beautiful cameras. It's one of those beautiful cameras which has a Nikon lens on it. Some of you know that Nikon used to make lenses for large format, and the good thing about those is that if you have a large format camera, Nikon lenses are not very expensive at all. So I think this particular lens, which is what I think it's 135. Well, sure, let's just things fall off. 135mm lens. Then that one was about £170 from Japan eBay, mint plus plus plus. So it was really, really good. I am not using it enough, and I definitely need to shoot more of this. I'm still on my first pack of format pan 400, I think. I shot about 20 sheets of it, and I have another 30 left. So it's just my test. It is working. Beautifully made camera. It's just a beautiful object to hold, but I need to start to shoot more of it for sure. It's one of those fascinating things. Once you start to go larger than 35mm format, it's kind of a slippery slope. You know, we went from 645 to 6x7. You know, and recently acquired Fuji, the Texas Leica, what's it, GR3 or something like this. That's a 6x9 format. So, and then medium format, and then this large format. Obviously, if I get used to this camera, maybe 8x10 is going to be the next step, but I don't know. But yeah, definitely, they're beautiful, beautiful cameras. David Louis is asking how many rolls of film did I put through, and I'm going to put some on Instagram, I guess. Well, basically, 95% of my trip was shot on film cameras. I had a Leica rangefinder with me, and I had the Mamiya 7 with me. I also had the Nikon ZF with me, and I used it only for night photography, so I didn't really carry it with me that much. So it was in my kind of second backpack. I only used it for the evening shots. The reason for that being is I can shoot something like 800T Vision 3 stock, you know, or Portrait 800 at night. But the thing is, there's so much light in California that compared to UK, that 800 ISO film for daylight is just a no-go, and that's why I kind of trying to avoid to use. I only had like 2 rolls of 800 ISO film. I had a Candido 800, which is basically similar to Cine Steel. It's a Vision 3 stock, basically with ramjet removed. I didn't use it at the end. I had Portrait 800 as well, which I didn't use. The rest I mostly shot is basically 100, 160, and 400 ISO stocks. From them, I think there was about 7-8 rolls of 35mm film. I had to buy a couple more rolls of Portrait 35mm in San Francisco. So together with David Mascoro. So I've done this. I didn't underestimate how much 35mm I'm going to use, because I thought I'm going to shoot a lot of medium format. And then I ended up, because medium format I used mainly for kind of cityscapes, aka like urban landscapes and things like this. That's what I shoot mostly nowadays. But 35mm been used a lot in Los Angeles and San Francisco because it was more kind of documentary style, but also, you know, a lot of shots that wouldn't take on medium format would go on 35mm film. So let me show you the bag. I've developed 3 rolls of film. I'm in the middle of scanning them, but I have access to developing machines, so I'm going to feed them through as I go. So I don't need to develop all my films at the same time. So, but this is the bag of films that I have. So I don't know if you can see it. So there's I think there's quite a few rolls in there. So from there, I think, sorry for the noise. So I've developed 3 rolls of 35mm. I have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left, 6. So I have another 6 rolls of 35. So it's 9 35mm in total. And then 120 film was 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 21 roll of 120 film. So, and it's a mixture of Hectar 100, Gold 200, Portra 160, Portra 400, Fuji 400H as well. So the mixture of things in there. I'm not in a rush to scan them all. I know that some of you say, oh, it's going to take ages. It will take me ages to scan, but you know, I'm easy. I'm really enjoyed using my cameras. And yeah, that's not a problem for me to wait for those. It's not a commercial job where I need to turn around. So I'm going to feed them maybe 3-4 rolls a week, scan them all. Scanning on Coolscan 9000, especially medium format, can take some time with the best possible quality. So, so I'll do that. I'm trying to keep it economical. So I'm scanning kind of myself instead of, let's say, asking lab to do that. And I have a reasonably good rate for developing. So that's good news for me. So let's see what people say. That's film photography. Joe Locke says, oh no, I usually put kettle on at 3 p.m. I'll have to wait. I'm going to have coffee now. I really need coffee. It's 2 o'clock, but this is my first coffee for today. Okay, so let's have a look. All right, good morning, everyone. Kane is asking, when we will get the Sigma 500mm 5.6 for F mount low? Good question. Gotta actually connect with Sigma people. I might just drop them a line to find out about that. So, because Grace always means to sell Sigma lenses. So, I can tell you that Sigma F mount lenses are not selling as well anymore, just for the simple reason that everyone is shooting mirrorless nowadays. So I'm definitely looking forward to Sigma releasing more Z mount lenses, because that would be useful. But I'm gonna make a note of this 400mm f5.6 when. Hello from Barcelona. Hello, Chris. Joe says I hit on up every Friday. Thanks for doing this. We appreciate this. And, we try to keep it every week, but, life gets in the way. I need my holidays. I need to recharge my batteries. And, those things, as usual, we all people. We're not machines. We try to do this channel not by the numbers, therefore we try not to put all the clickbaity stuff. We're not trying to be stir the pot. Well, we do every now and then, but not the way that YouTube wants it to do. So in a way, it's nice to have breaks every now and then. And I also miss you guys, being honest with you. So so I really was looking forward to the live stream. So even if I'm under weather today, I'm like, no, I'm gonna do this because it's good to see you guys. It's good to see that you are here. People I met in the United States, they're normal people, photographers, right? So, as we say, when you're driving, you're a different person when you are not driving. And when you see people on the internet and the comments on the internet, everything is, kind of too over-exaggerating things there. When you meet real people and you're just like, yeah, I enjoy this. I enjoy what I have. I don't need the latest and greatest. I just enjoy photography. And for me, it's very important that people just, as long as you enjoy doing photography, all those specifications and numbers, it's all irrelative. It's as long as you enjoy what you're doing. If you're a professional photographer or you're hobbyist, as long as you enjoy what you're doing, the rest doesn't matter. All this noise about the news, latest and greatest camera stuff, it's all on the internet. No one cares in real life, let's be honest. Thank you very much, Adrian. So he says British coffee, £5. Exactly. Coffee in the United States is expensive, I can tell you that. Finding a good coffee place is also difficult, but I think it's in London as well. If you don't know where to go, it's very difficult to find good places. But there is good coffee in the United States. Obviously, you like your pint-sized coffees. I don't know why. Every time I would order coffee and I say, can you make me a black coffee? You have to mention that if you're on espresso, you have to mention that say Americano, but can you make a very short Americano in the smallest cup you have? Because otherwise you end up with just a pint of coffee, And obviously you guys love your filter coffee, and filter coffee can be amazing as well. So lots of time it's a muddy water, but again, if you know good places, you can definitely have a really, really good coffee. Thank you very much, Brock. He says, welcome back. I hope the California weather treated you well. Absolutely. Really enjoyed. We went from wearing shirts and T-shirts in Los Angeles to wearing winter clothes in Grand Canyon. In Grand Canyon, we had sun, rain, snow. The hike we did in 3 hours, our car was completely covered in snow. I think it was definitely 4 or 5 inches of snow on the roof of the car. So that was fine. The good news is the roads weren't icy, so I was worried about that. I would need to rent chains somewhere. But the good news is, yes, the roads were good. So regardless of, snow, it was totally fine. So, but yeah, great weather everywhere. As I say, you go South California is very hot, well, reasonably comfortable, and then the more north you go towards San Francisco, it gets a bit colder, and obviously in the mountains it's a little bit more colder than usual. Thank you very much, David. He says, have some recovery coffee. I had a great coffee that cost 200 kilograms in Japan. Japan is amazing for coffee. I think if you go to Japan, especially the pour over stuff, they're really into that. And again, it's one of the things you don't think about Japan. But you go to Japan, you definitely look out for their coffee shops and definitely go for their filter pour over stuff. It's incredible. They know their stuff. But yeah, guys, like in terms of cost of coffee and things like this, don't worry. When you're starting to get into coffee, you don't need to buy the most expensive coffee in the world. Try slowly, try independent specialty coffee roasters. Try blends, but also try single origins, what they call. It's the same like whiskey. You got single origin blend and single cask. But definitely try that out. You don't need to get expensive coffee machines. Just start with a pour over. V60 is fantastic for that. Brilliant. Get a hand manual grinder. The whole setup would be around £100. It's if you like coffee, start to enjoy it differently. All right, let's see. So Jonas says I'm a second jug of Java. Yeah, I like Java coffee. It's good. Hello, Gray. Gray is in the chat. He's waiting for me to come back, so I'm definitely looking forward to see you all guys in the shop. It's been a while, and I'm ready for action. So, David Mascaro mentioned customs, and I've been held in customs in Los Angeles airport for 4 hours. So, basically, we're going through passport control, and they asked, did you ever have student visa? And I did have student visa back in 2004 when I came as a student for summer, and it's called J1 work and travel program, where you come in for summer, you work somewhere, and you come back. So it's been 20 years ago. I came in, I came back. Obviously, no laws broken or anything like this. So was getting with my new passport. It's my third time coming to US on that new passport. And there's a question, do you have student visa? I was like, yes, about back 20 years ago. And they said, that will require another line of questioning. I'm like, okay. So they separated me and my wife. She went to pick up the luggage, and I was basically went to another room where they held all those dodgy people like me, so, and I thought it was going to take 15-30 minutes. It took me 4 hours before I got to actual person to talk to, and he looked at me and he said, I don't know what the problem is. So, and he just said, thank you very much, stamped my passport, and I left. So that was a fun experience, spending 4 hours for, spending about a minute next to the, next to the officer. So instead of coming to our place in the hotel about 6 p.m. in the evening, having dinner that day, we arrived about 11. And I'm glad that I forgot about it. So that was quite fun. All right. So Kevin says Nikon ZF with a 50mm macro pixel shift mode. That sounds good. We actually have the video on pixel shift ready. It's been recorded about 3 months ago, so finally we're going to put it out very soon. Obviously, now that will apply to the same thing to Z8, so hopefully you'll see that as well. So I've just got the edited version, so we just need to do final adjustments for this, and hopefully it will be out anytime soon. William is asking, what about the new Z mount telephoto 28-400? What do you think, William? What are your thoughts? I want to hear your opinion about this. We kind of covered this on the Nikon Report podcast that came out yesterday. So have a look at that. Got a very interesting email. It just made me chuckle when it says, I saw Con impression about this lens. He looked very scared about Nikon decision why they released this lens. Made me chuckle. I think it's a cool thing that Nikon does things like this. Again, a lot of people made a very interesting points saying it is a family type of lens where if you have kids and they do sports and stuff like this, you can take this lens and you can shoot wide at 28, but it quickly becomes 400mm, which is quite nice, especially if you're doing outdoor sports and things like this. It's a great hiking lens. Again, when you don't want to carry a lot, well, it's on the larger side. It's about, 800 grams, just under 800 grams. It's still better than carrying several lenses with you. So, it's another point is a cheap 400mm lens. Again, it is £1,300 or what, £1,400 and $1,300, but it's cheaper than 400 lightweight that they do, or 100 to 400 lens. So there's lots of different things that you can apply this to. So yes, definitely very interesting lens. Don't think it's, let's say, great. Like, I think 24 to 200 probably will suit more people because of its size, and more consumer people who use those cameras again for family things. But it's a bigger lens, and I can see definitely a lot of use for it. Like another person said, well, think about Tilly. She's running around. You can take a picture of her, and she's far away. You go to 400. She's close to you. She's at 28. So definitely can see the use of this lens. I normally don't like the idea of all-rounder lens because they're great all-rounders. They're masters of none. But I can also see that, there's a use for this. So there's definitely pros and cons towards the use of this lens. And hopefully, like, if kind of pros outweigh the cons, then this is lens for you. If you feel like you can carry several lenses that cover similar range, then, better you probably do go this way. But as I say, it's a very interesting lens, and it's a first from Nikon among all manufacturers as well, which is, we always talk about Nikon being very conservative on their releases and waiting for everyone to do their thing and then releasing their own by making it right. This is the first one where they say, no, we're going to push the envelope on this one, so let's everyone else to catch up. So, again, it's not to start the war against other brands. We don't do this on this channel, but it's nice to see that Nikon is pushing the envelope and definitely innovating in this field. And a lot of people mentioned that potentially something like this was not possible back in the day, even maybe a couple of years ago. Again, that may be to do with A, the Z mount, first of all, B, with the way the lenses are being designed nowadays. They design on the computer, so they go through a lot more. They have basically simulations, how the light is going to behave, and it's all done on the computer, so they go through much less prototypes, but they can also get better results at the same time. So, I think, this combination of all sorts of things. So overall, I'm quite happy. I'm not scared. I'm actually embracing it. And if Nikon can push the envelope and surprise us with those things, I'm all up for it. I'm all up for us instead of speculating about some camera that we can predict is going to happen soon, and we can all predict the specification things. I rather talk about things that are wild and they actually become true, So this is, for me, is more exciting because it kind of throws you off beaten path, So, and definitely make you think what else Nikon can create. And recently Nikon got in the rumors article saying that there are a couple more lenses are rumored to be announced soon. So who knows? Maybe they're going to surprise us with those releases as well. We covered what Nikon needs. I think tilt and shift stuff would be interesting to have. I think 200 micro would be interesting to have. I think there's a lot more lenses to release in DX lineup as well. So I think definitely there's room for Nikon to play with their lineup. And while it's kind of full feature complete in a way, 90%, there's definitely certain gaps that can feel or surprise us with some. All right, so let's see what people say in the chat. Will says, hi, I'm patiently waiting for Nikon ZF 40mm special edition. It's going to be great to get my hands on it. It's going to be alongside the Nikon F bought by my late father in 1963. That's amazing. I am actually streaming from Nikon ZF right now. So that's that. Great camera. I think it's fantastic camera. I really enjoyed it. I kind of toying with the idea of getting 40 f2 from Nikon. I'm also, in my hand, there's a 40mm Voigtland f1.2 because it's very special lens, very special lens. So, I'm kind of still on the fence, but to be honest with you, I went to United States for 2 weeks. I don't have a budget to buy a new lens right now. So California is not cheap, definitely. If you are planning to go to California, be ready to spend some money on food. That's for sure. That's for sure. Food is not cheap there. All right, so let's see. I'm going to quickly go through the chat because I think I'm kind of lagging behind a little bit. So let's have a look. Well, Stuart says, welcome back on up the Eagles. Fantastic. Yes, we're doing great. We have a new coach. So hopefully we stay this season. That's all we can hope for. And next season we got new players. All right. Dave's asking, did you have any safety worries in San Francisco? How many bad things in recent years? San Francisco is a very interesting place. I can tell you that as a city, from like the way it is, I prefer it over Los Angeles because Los Angeles is quite spread, so you need to really drive everywhere. So Los Angeles is a city designed around vehicles, around cars, not around people. San Francisco is a lot smaller, is a lot more compact. Obviously, you can drive, but like it's much smaller. So therefore, let's say if you're just a tourist, you can, like we used Lyft or Uber. Pretty much, I didn't drive there. I found the hotel with the free parking. That's really good. Apparently, there are not many places in San Francisco that offer free parking because it's normally something like $30 plus per day. It's a weird place. It's a beautiful town. It's a beautiful city, and then on one side, and then you have the homelessness on another side, and those parts are not pretty. So there's definitely ups and downs. I don't think we felt particularly unsafe. I don't think so. We didn't drive, so we didn't leave anything in the car. So that's that. I generally didn't keep my camera on me. I had it hanging on me, so I had it in my pocket. So generally, when I was photographing, it was fine, but I was looking around surroundings. It's a very complex question, and it's very. I don't think I can clearly kind of make it black and white on a stream. So there's lots of economical, social issues that are in San Francisco, and obviously people who live there, they know a lot more about that than me. So, but yeah, it's like from what I've read before being there, I felt like I don't want to go there. That was kind of my initial impression before, but then, when we came there, I really enjoyed the city. It's a beautiful place to be, a very interesting place to be, great people as well, great food, lots of interesting things to do. So, but yeah, it is a very complex issue that hopefully will be addressed eventually. So, hi Rakesh, good to see you. Okay. Let's see what we have here. If you haven't given this stream like, please do. That helps the channel a lot. We have 168 people. Wow, I'm really surprised about this. I thought it was going to be a lot less. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, that greatly helps the channel, especially when you're watching and you subscribe, and that's basically pushing the algorithm to recommend the stream to a lot more people. So that's how it works. But thanks so much for joining us today. So Rick says, yeah, 26 mil is very small and nice. I agree. 26 looks lovely on Nikon ZF. Very nice and portable setup. Let's have a look. So Selective Imagery says, I agree, it's great to talk about what exists and it's not creative fiction content for April 1st, a bit tacky in my opinion. I agree. We generally, I think the vision we have for this channel is, unless we troll specifically, and we do that sometimes, some of you get it, some of you don't, but the more you watch this channel, you will know that sometimes I say things I don't mean, but yeah, I agree. But we had this idea for 3-4 years just to do, like on April 1st, to do like a Sony report issue on April 1st and just do whole week of Sony news with a straight face. So that was the idea. We never have enough time because, we work in a shop environment, so there's a lot of things we do in the shop. But I think it's, like those things can be taken creatively if people have time to do those. But yeah, the problem is that YouTube encourages you to do what people do on the YouTube. All those clickbaity stuff. YouTube encourages you to do this. So if you want to be successful, if you want to have more subscribers, you have to do this. I don't like it with passion, so, that's the thing. But technically, I know that if you wanted this channel to go bigger, we may need to do stuff like this, which, kind of, I don't like that. Con, if you were choosing between Voigtlander 50 and 35mm Apolanta, which would you choose and why? Generally, I shoot more with 35mm lens, but testing those two lenses, I did find that Voigtlander 50mm Apo gave me a more interesting look, a more character. It's not Apo is not character lens, but it's just the way the bokeh rendered was very different. So when we talk characters, we talk swirls and this vintage look. No, this gave me a very different look to what Nikon lenses do, to what other lenses do. So 50 Apo for this particular combination, for me personally, 50 Apo would be the one I would buy. Doesn't mean the 35 is bad. No, 35 is exceptionally sharp lens. It's probably the sharpest 35 around, but it didn't give me enough look I wanted. So that's what it is. So for that, I would probably shoot with something like like 41.2 if I need 35mm lens. Stuff like this. But yeah, very interesting. I would say don't listen to me. It's my personal use. See what focal distance you prefer more, because they're both superb lenses. Ozbaz says, finding secondhand D1X in good condition can be quite a challenge. Also, we have a brand new Nikon D1. It's a collectible piece, So yeah, it's quite hard, but you can definitely. We were surprised to find this one. It looks pristine. As Michael says, left eye shooter. Does anyone find that 5Z7 series cameras buttons difficult to manipulate? Has put me off going mirrorless, sticking my D500 at the moment. That's a very interesting thing. Yeah, I wish that manufacturers would definitely do a bit more in that space. I think Canon had cameras for left eye shooters back in the day, maybe 5 years ago. So I really hope, that something like this is going to be released. But obviously, yeah, I think, unfortunately, manufacturers think about how many units can they sell. And that's the issue. Do you think if they would say you can have this camera for left eye, but we're going to charge you £200-300 more, would people accept this? Because I think people would be quite upset. But I think because it would be a much smaller, much smaller numbers being manufactured, the production would cost a lot more. So I think that's kind of the reason why they would up the price. But it's an interesting question. If what do you think? I think obviously internet would be upset by that, but just thinking in terms of cost of production, I can see that how manufacturer can justify that price increase. Okay. Give us a like. So yeah, give us a like if you can. Eugene is asking, here in Sweden, Nikon Sweden sends all repairs to Sony. They only have the agent in Stockholm that does clean and minor adjustments. How does it work in England? It's pretty much the same. Nikon is now basically based in Europe. Therefore, major repairs go to Europe. And that's what adds to the length of repairs. So they have to go there, they have to be repaired there, they have to be returned to us. Minor adjustments have been made in UK. So yeah, it's just the way it is, unfortunately. That happened, I think, about 4 or 5 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Kane is asking, do you think deep down we will ever get the red light sense camera, medium format camera? I don't know, Kane. I think that, medium format camera for Z mount, it's not gonna happen. It's a nice rumor to have. It's a nice topic to discuss. Look, the largest sensor, I'm all in, from personal level. So as Nikon said, red is going to be red. So we've discussed all this. So they're going to do their own thing. I hope that, a lot of technology trickles down to dedicated Nikon Z video camera lineup. But if Nikon is getting into Cine, we probably will start to see some production of Cine lenses. That will take, in my opinion, quite a chunk of time from Nikon. So design a medium format digital camera plus design a set of lenses around it. That's where I think that's it's not a priority for Nikon. However, as it's 28-400 lens, Nikon may surprise us, and I will be happy if they do something like this. That's the thing. All right, let's have a look. Colin says, I just had ZF out with a Laowa 9mm. It worked well, day and night, great colors. I would love to try this 9mm lens. Sounds like fun. Again, a bit too wide for me personally, but it's just a fun lens to try, I think, So, and obviously, if it's lens suits your needs as a photographer, then I'm sure you're going to enjoy that. It's, the reviews has been very positive about that lens. Let's have a look. People discussing left eye photography. I wish I could tell more about this. Unfortunately, I'm the right type, so I don't have too much input on this. But as I said, I agree. If they would do something like this, that would be great. Accessibility features on cameras, I think that's something is very interesting and would be useful. Definitely. I don't know if, like some of you, I'm sure, like I grew up on video games, so I don't play video games as much anymore just because, things, life. But they now release controllers with accessibility features, so, for their consoles. So I think, if we can get some sort of accessibility features included with cameras to make it for people who need those features, to use their cameras a bit easily than they normally do it. I think that would be great. So, I think whoever does it first definitely would get a lot more good feedback, I think, and just respect, Okay. Kevin says, Red's biggest sense camera isn't much bigger than full frame. Only RMX 65mm sensor, like 65. Fair enough. I don't know if we still see it in steel products. That's my point. If they do, would be amazing. Yeah. Hello, Wheel. Global shutter. Yes, they have global shutter. I think one of those things that's that will come to to all cameras eventually is global shutter. I think it's the way to go. But as you can see, there are some challenges and cost of a global shutter. So challenges in terms of image quality and dynamic range and noise, and that will only improve with with the new generation of cameras. Oz is asking, rangefinder style camera with the Z mount. I mean, I've been always say this. I'm definitely big on that. If that ever happens, I would prefer though manual focus glass on this. So maybe a Voigtlander, who knows? But definitely, if Nikon ever thinks there's a market for it, I mean, obviously, do your research, but if we can help that thing happen, definitely. I would love to equivalent of Nikon SP or S3. So I like 28, so I prefer SP. So with, I would love that. Probably going to be expensive if that comes out, like 5K, 6K, but still not like prices. Yeah, I was shaking. Leica M11 in UK, £7.5 grand. That's a lot. That's a UK money as well. All right, so let's have a look what people say. What do you think about the Tamron release, by the way? I want to know. I've been puzzled. I've been definitely puzzled. Like a lot of people made valid point and saying, well, it's capitalism, baby. It's let the market decide. I agree. It just goes against all the previous third-party releases of everyone, basically. And when Tamron releases a lens that directly competes with the Nikon proposition, it's the same spec lens as Gen 2, but it's 28 to 75 f2.8, And obviously knowing that Nikon design is basically based on Gen 1, that's what's confusing to me. I mean, I guess we've reached the system, Z system has reached the maturity where we can now start to release, let's say, 24 to 72.8 lens by a third-party manufacturer to compete directly with Nikon. We can do that. It just puzzles to me that it's literally Nikon lenses based on Tamron glass, and now Tamron says, well, we got a better lens now, and a cheaper price. So that's what puzzles me a little bit, So I'm like, yeah. I guess Nikon just says, yeah, it's the system is now fully open. Do whatever you do, guys. Let's see. I want to see more. So who knows? Maybe you're going to see Z72 to 180 lens. Who knows? Maybe Z17 to 28 lens from Tamron. I don't know. But if I would be Nikon, I would be a bit like, well, not impressed. Let's say that. Not impressed. Looking forward to try this lens out anyway. So if we get a chance to get hands on it, we will definitely try to test it and see what we think about it. Rick is asking, my Mi 6 or my Mi 7? No, you have the 7. What's your opinion? If you like the square format, go for the 6. If you like, I never shot square format. So for me, I think I will eventually get into Hasselblad just because I want to try it. I want to see what the fuss is about. It was similar with Leica. But realistically speaking, if you're shooting, square, then go with 6. They're a bit cheaper as well, which helps. I think they've gone up in price quite recently as well. So, but if the price is no difference, then you can, not that different between the two, then go 7, and then you can always crop to square if you need to. Obviously, 6x6 format will get you more shots. So I think you go to 16 shots if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on this one. No, 12 maybe. And then you get 10 shots on 6x7 cameras. So my Mi 7. So I like my Mi 7. I kind of went in the last 2 years through rangefinder phase, and I really enjoy that. So I was always SLR shooter. I was always, like my first Nikon camera was f100. Had Zenith before. They were all SLRs. But I think when you kind of been doing photography for a very long time, and I know you've been doing this for very long, some of you just starting, if you're just starting, I'm very excited for you because you have a long trip ahead of you of trying different things and see what works, what doesn't, what you like. Your preferences may change over the years. It's a beautiful thing to have. So in the last couple of years, I kind of went through rangefinder phase because I never used rangefinder, so I always wanted to try, and I got hooked. So I really like to use rangefinder system nowadays. So just for my personal photography. Again, we're talking about this as a hobby. You have very different set of priorities when you're a professional photographer. If I shoot commercial job, I definitely look at the job from and the equipment from kind of pragmatic point of view, where I need the job done and I'll get the best equipment that will allow me to do that. Therefore, let's say something like Z8 and 24-72.8, let's say for event type of photography, that's perfect. Then you can have a second camera, let's say with a prime lens on it for more shallow depth of field, candid shots if you want to, So these are kind of cameras for jobs, and but if you're a hobbyist and it depends on what you shoot, you're gonna look at equipment very differently. And technically, you can take the same shot with a rangefinder as well as with SLR or DSLR or mirrorless camera per se. So, but again, it depends what you enjoy doing, how you enjoy taking pictures. I could take a digital camera to the United States and shoot everything digitally. I didn't want to do this because I know I wouldn't enjoy this. I would get 1,000 shots a day. I would never look to them again, and therefore now I'm actually looking forward to develop my rolls and see what's in there, And it's again, that's the thing. We're talking about you basically creating yourself more obstacles, but as long as you enjoy doing this, it doesn't matter. That's the thing. But yeah, from kind of simplistic point of view, no, just get digital mirrorless camera and get 28-400 lens and you're done, so that's the thing. Shoot with a bazooka, Ken says, a lot of people don't print and miss out on seeing the work as meant to be seen. I agree. We are mobile phone generation now, where we look at the images on our mobile phone more than anything else. It's as simple as that. I kind of have this idea, it's a bit on the back burner, but I have this idea for about 2 years now where I want to build my darkroom. I want to build it up. So let's see if it ever happens, but it doesn't go away. When something sits and you kind of keep thinking about it every now and then, so I definitely probably want to go back to this and just, start to print black and white and color again, So Kevin says, my Mi 7 II is better everywhere unless you prefer 6x6 format. I agree, but they're all great cameras. So I would say look at the price. I have the 2.7 as well. That's the guy. I think they have like polarizing coating on the rangefinder. I don't know, but all I know, this camera takes amazing shots, and I'm really in love with that 80mm lens. So that's what it is. On my last trip to Spain, I broke my lens hood, so I slipped and I hit the camera on the lens hood, so it's kind of cracked. But it's still working. I'm looking for replacement. I know you can 3D print one, so I might just find the design and 3D print it. But again, I think if someone designs metal hoods for my Mi 7 or some other old lenses, people will pay money for them. So I think there's a niche market available for that. Really like the camera. Definitely a might to go medium format just for general use. Okay, let's see. Joe says, I still use my Nikon D3000 with 7 megapixel CCD sensor. It's infrared converted, but still in use. Fantastic. Use the cameras you have. And if you don't use them, unless you're collecting those film cameras, of course, but if you don't use digital cameras, sell them, who knows? I mean, maybe they'll come back into fashion. I don't know. Let's see what it is. I've, as I said, we've just recently at Grace, we got D1 brand new. That's a fun thing. Okay, let's have a look next. Okay, people talking about Sony mount licensing. Okay, I don't know much about that. People still have G200. Yeah, G200 is fantastic. I really like studio work. Like my first studio work was done on G200. That was fun. Digital studio work, yeah. So I really enjoyed it. I could lend it from the technicians in the college I studied in London. And yeah, beautiful camera up to about 800 ISO. Even like 800 gets noisy, but I have definitely good warm feelings about it. Joe, yeah, I can probably start to just buffer a little bit. I'm just gonna pretend I'm buffering, so you have time. Don't worry, you have time to make tea as well. So but yeah, I'm thinking it's actually 3 o'clock now. Wow, yeah, time flies. It's good to see you guys. It's a pleasure to see you guys because it's been a while. As I say, if we're in States, maybe we should organize some sort of meetup, but maybe in London as well. I don't know if someone is going to be up for some sort of meetup in London, not a walk or anything like this, but more like not a pub crawl, no, just one pub. Let us know. Maybe we can organize something like this. I don't know. It's good to see real photographers and just put the faces to the names. It's always nice to meet people. It's amazing. All digital cameras I be trained with the young people. They're all going through this point and shoot phase now. So yeah, I guess we're gonna get to D1s and D200s at some point. I don't know. To be honest with you, if it helps to bring cameras into young people's hands so they can actually enjoy, why not? Why not? I'm very happy, and I'm sure that the camera shops like Grace Westminster would be happy to supply them their cameras. Good Selection Energy says, go to run. Good to see you. Enjoy. I sell my digital gear for 2005 SP. Didn't you get SP? I forgot. You told me you've got a rangefinder recently, didn't you, David? I forgot which one. But yeah. Or was it S3? I'm not sure. Okay, let's see. I don't understand the question. Z series low cost, which camera best for wedding? Not sure what you mean, but basically get any camera and get a good lens and you're ready to go. Any camera can be used for wedding. You can't go wrong, but if you're on a budget, have a look at the, early generation cameras. I think that would do the job. And then, if you can get 24-70 2.8, that's a good start. 24-70 f4 on the budget would do the job. Have a look at FTZ adapter and a bunch of professional F-mount glass. And there's definitely, you can get better lens for less money. That could be a good option. Just as meetup sounds awesome. How about challenge sometime? Joe, I really tied up in a shop doing lots of other things. So what I do here is about 10% of what I do. So my problem is receiving 200 emails that needs reply. And I do go through about 40, 50 emails a day. So it's just my workload, so I don't, I have to do it by myself, and I just don't have enough time for this. I would love to do that. But it's just, I am stretched, so maybe if I find a little minion who can help me with that probably gonna be, at some point. But I have it on my back burner. So yeah, definitely that what we did, the photography showcase, I think it's a great idea. It just comes down to me doing it alone. And it's, even when we were doing, me and Becky were doing this, I would read the emails, and then Becky would describe photograph while I was doing this, and then we would have a talking point. So you think about the flow, the way the flow works in a broadcast. When I have to read the emails, then discuss the image, it's going to take us hours to go through all the submissions. So there's a lot of, I would say, kind of behind the scenes stuff that needs to be addressed to make it visually appealing, if you see what I mean. But we love to see your images. If I can make it work somehow, I will. I promise you that. So, but right now, as I say, it's, yeah, I can't do it right now. Hello, Jim. Thanks so much. Says I'm running late. That's fine. I'm really surprised. People watching us in the United States, you guys have to get up early. That's really appreciated. For 6, 7 a.m., it's incredible. It's absolutely, it's crazy to me. I mean, if you do this, thank you so much. It just shows you dedication, but I really appreciate that. I I got up at I was thinking, oh, shall I do live stream from LA? And then I thought, I have to get up at 6 o'clock at least, make a cover, and then set up the live stream. Not sure how the Wi-Fi is gonna work. And then I thought, no, you know what? I'm on holiday. let me enjoy myself. So, but kudos to you if you guys, thank you for turning up. I really appreciate it. Let's have a look. So yeah, Colin is up for for a pint. I agree. So let's we can do that. Good to see you, David. That's fine. I haven't been here for 3 weeks, so hopefully we can go back to normal schedules. So, thanks for coming over. 2400, a wedding lens. That's interesting. I mean, technically, any lens can be a wedding lens, even 9mm Lava. I don't know if it would be appealing to a couple to see those photographs, but but I guess it's fun. People shooting street life with 400mm lenses. So the world is your oyster, really. But yeah, I mean, I think the main concern is really that the variable aperture of a photo f8 could be a bit too dark in a poor lit environment. Obviously, the sensors on the camera are so good now that we can push an ISO up, and we can do whatever we want and leave the shadows in the post. So technically, why not? Dave has original SP. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, in a pristine condition. Love the story. I'm glad that you acquired that one. Colin says that if you want to convert your camera, fixation apparently is doing this. Okay, the fixation is in London. They're authorized by Nikon, so have a look into this. I know that in the United States you can use different companies. They do that. They also convert cameras like Z7s to a thinner stack sensor, so you can use Leica lenses via adapter, and they will produce better results than just with a regular what's called sensor stack or something like this on a regular Z camera. So. Kirill says, thank you very much, Kirill. He says, welcome back. Was hard to talk to all those strange people saying my Z8, my Nikon, and my Mamma Mia, during the vacation. It was pleasure, actually. It was pleasure to see. I was worried about my wife. She's like, oh, I don't, why are you talking camera so much? But she embraced it. So, she enjoyed it as well. And I told to my wife, look, we are... for 2 weeks, just me and you, in the car. So let's go and see people every now and then, So that was fun. And obviously we had a good time. We had great food. I finally know what good Mexican food is, because I haven't tried good Mexican food in the UK. So finally I was introduced to some beautiful tacos from the dodgy vans, those food trucks. That was amazing. That was incredible. And also the prices are reasonable. You know, you're not paying like £12 for a taco or something like you do in UK. So that's the thing, and really enjoy that. Really enjoy that. But you gotta love spicy food though. You gotta love spicy food. I can tell you that. Okay, competition. So Matley says competition at the Meetup challenge idea. Everyone comes with one printed image 6x4, and people can vote. There may be a mini vlog on it. Sounds good. Sounds good. I would say let's do 8x10 images. You know, but we have Nikon Owners Club. Which is Nikon Owner magazine, which publishes quarterly. Becky writes for Nikon Owner magazine. You can subscribe to it in nikonownermagazineshop.com. It's in the description under the video, and you can use content to get a discount on that. But they have groups around UK, and London group is quite proactive. Michael Lefthriadis is the head of London group, and they do the walks and talks and things like this. They also used to do meetups. I think they still do those every now and then, where people meet up and discuss their photography. And I think this is really cool. If we can talk more about photography and less specifications, and I think it would be better, because I do enjoy photography as a photographer. Like I can tell you, like I've got about 4 books that I've ordered, photography books that have been away, that I'm looking forward to actually go through. So there's one called Trent Park Monument. This is a great book. I haven't opened it yet, still sealed. So it's a great documentary book. Another one is by Sage Sohia, Passing the Time. I think that one was shot on medium format rangefinder camera, so shots from 80s, 70s of the United States. Got this educational book called Marielle Mark on the Portrait and the Moments, where he discusses his photography and how he took those photographs. So I'm going to read that. That's quite interesting to read. I'm looking forward to this. And I've added a classic book to my collection that's I used to look a lot at when I was at the library at my college where I was studying photography in London. So it's called Magnum Contact Sheets. It's a classic book. I'm sure some of you have it. I haven't had it. Obviously, I read through this. So kind of it's one that goes to my collection. Definitely looking forward to it. This is very educational because you can see how many images photographers have taken and what images they've chosen. So that's, like, as I say, a photographer can take thousands of words. 36 photographs on a roll can take you a lot more. That's the thing. So you can learn from this. So I'm looking forward to this. I genuinely try. I have this thing where I say one photography book a month. That's kind of my budget allocation for that. But I kind of went a little bit, like in March I got 4 books, so now the idea is to go through them. So generally try to not order another book until I read through the first one, because otherwise you end up with too many books. And obviously photography books is different, like, obviously you can look at the images, etc., appreciate it, but there's some books that are theoretical, and I'd like to read that. I do like to read about theory and photography as art. That's kind of the background that was brought up when I was studying as well. They told us, go and look at the photographer's work and see why they did it, what they did it for. Here's the camera, go figure it out. So that's how my education was. So they kind of threw us in and said, look, we're going to have some technical discussions about maybe 4 hours a week. The rest is basically your own education, and it's up to you what you're going to do with this. For some people it works, for some people it doesn't, but for me, I definitely enjoy that, and it put me on a path on what I'm doing today. That's the thing. So, but yeah, that's what it is. Now it says my wife was a trooper. Yeah, she loved it. She really loved it. She's, she kind of brings sense into me when I start to talk too much photography. So she definitely make me snap out of it. That's the thing. But yeah, we really enjoyed that. I think the whole trip was absolutely amazing. Driving about 4 hours a day of driving. But as it was written on one of the billboards of, I think it was a border of Arizona and Utah in Monument Valley, where they say, welcome to Utah, the biggest open museum in the world. So I think the whole kind of, like I've just covered Nevada, California, Utah there. So I think all of those places are just big open museums. So it's just beautiful to drive. You don't even kind of need to go and look at the places. Even driving along the mountains and just scenery, it's incredible. The scenery changes as well from south to the north. You got more desert in the south. And once you start to go, let's say, and you obviously got Death Valley and Joshua Tree and stuff, but once you go towards Sequoia National Park and Yosemite, it's all changed. It becomes very European. It's all, instead of mountains, you got hills, you got cows. It also looks very kind of Switzerland-like, lots of wine fields and, like lots of farming there, really green, very incredible. So it's very interesting how the whole landscape changes. It's like another level in the video game, when they used to have like lava level, I don't know, like snow level, etc., etc. Really, really cool. I really enjoy that. All right, so let's see. Okay, so do you have more questions, or shall we wrap up for today? Let's have a look. I'm just going to quickly go through. Hello from Los Angeles. Hi, George. Can't you allow it to format them? Typical wedding lens, 7200, yes, 50 prime, and wide angle zoom, like 1635. I agree, good setup. If you want to simplify it, I would say 2470 is good as well. 2.8 is great for that. You can go wide, of course, depends on the environment where you're shooting as well. Definitely a cool place to be. Chris says, buying tacos after midnight from a street vendor in MX. What is MX? Mexico, I assume? No, nothing better. I agree. I mean, that was fun, definitely. LA is 24-hour city as well, which is cool. London used to be 24-hour city, not anymore, I think. Joe says, I've taken to printing my photos as coffee table books. Extremely satisfying, solves the wall, space problem. I agree. Definitely, like, one of the things that I'm looking forward to do with this particular trip is to do a photo book. So once I scan them, I want to do a photo book. I think there's two versions of photo book. One is photography book with imagery that I've taken, etc. And another one is kind of family photo book with maps of the trips, kind of like where we drove, lots of kind of photographs of us, from mobile phone. It's a mixed media basically, so that's going to be one of for the family, and then I'm going to print one, let's say, just with the best images. So, again, it takes time. So, as long as you have time and you dedicate it, it's definitely a better way, because then you can look at the book instead of, let's say, I need to go and open my Lightroom library and try to find them. So, and if you obviously have, like my family, they always ask, well, can you just upload it to the website? We don't need your 1,000 images, but can you just select the best and just upload it somewhere so we can actually see it, so I might do that as well. All right. Okay, let's see. Trent also says, Trent Park is an amazing photographer. He has done some great work using Ektachrome. Yep. He's great. This book is particularly, I haven't seen it yet, but I've read it. Yeah, I've seen his previous work. Incredible stuff. Let's have a look. Please advise the price of Nikon Z30. Well, Anthony, if you go to our website, the price is there. I can go to the website now and Lee should do the same. So it's all on our westminster.co.uk. It's graceofwestminster.co.uk. It's all there. Thank you, Len. Good to see you as well. MX is Mexico. Perfect. David says, please sell the photo book. I don't know. I don't know what pictures I've taken with it because it was all on film. I'll see how it goes. If it's worth selling, then we'll. I mean, we had this idea of maybe we should start to sell our own prints, but I'm in that position where I'm like, who's gonna buy those? So I'm I enjoy my photography. I don't think I'm the best photographer in the world, but I don't know. Maybe one day, I definitely should start to put more stuff on social media, because I generally, I'm not a social media person. That's the thing. But I definitely try to do that. And if you guys like those pictures, maybe I'll start sell prints. If I ever do the book, well, who knows? Maybe. Fantastic. Okay. Well. David suggests to start with zine. Yeah, zine is all the rage nowadays. It's especially if you look at the the documentary street photographers of New York scene is all about the zines. There's lots of videos how to do a zine. So could be an option. I don't know how viable it is, but definitely maybe one day I'll try. Definitely. What I've noticed is I always need to find more time in my life. That's the thing. I think the older you become is like the less time you have, and I think it's a mental thing. So it needs to be, it needs to be work on here. So so hopefully I'll have more time to do the projects that I like. But the Con Collection. That's a good title of the book. Thank you, everyone. It's 3:20. I think it's been a good time to wrap up. Thank you, everyone who turned up today. I know that we didn't announce anything. Thank you very much for seeing me after 3 weeks. People tend to drop off, find other interesting things to do. It's always a pleasure to see you. I hope you're going to have a great weekend. We try, obviously, to go back to a weekly schedule. So if you have any ideas, we'll try to do that. I really liked us to have a chat, and that's what this live stream is about. If it's your first time here, I hope you enjoyed this. We have a really good community here, group of people. I don't like the word community because it's been thrown everywhere now, but really good group of people that really good to talk to. Speaking of which, we're missing Roy. I hope speedy recovery for him and his family. So hope he's okay. So so whoever left the comments, thanks for letting us know as well. So but thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend, everyone. Good to see you. I'll we're gonna have a podcast next week. We're gonna have another live stream. Maybe we'll have a video in between. So thanks so much. Have a great weekend, and we will see you soon. Bye bye.